and good day to everyone. So yeah, as Fabian said, I'm going to give you a very quick intro on Holcim's targets that have been validated by Science-Based Target Initiative, a little bit as a follow-up from what Carl has presented. I only have that slide, so it's going to be quite brief and very much looking forward to your questions and the discussion. So Holcim is, we are in the building materials sector, active in mainly cement, ready-mix, aggregates, and all the solution and products such as roofing operations. So from the building perspective, we are basically those manufacturing the part of the materials that are going to be used in the built environment. And as mentioned, active in these four segments and with a large footprint present in more than 70 countries around the globe. In terms of our journey towards net zero and the sustainability aspect, we in 2020 we were one of the very first companies signing the business ambition for 1.5 degrees with targets by 2030 validated by SBTi. At the time, we did it with the latest guidelines available, which were well below 2 degrees scenario. And these were only applicable for scope 1 emissions. I think that's a little bit how the journey started. Later last year, we had the chance to pilot the net zero standard with SBTi, and that gave us sort of the chance to have our net zero 2050 targets validated by the initiative. Holcim was at the time among the first companies having doing so. And as part of that process, we also set up targets for our scope 3 emissions, which were also first in industry. So I think you can go through it quickly here in the slides. In terms of our 2030 targets, we have set up commitments to reduce scope 1 and 2 emissions per ton of cementitious material by 2030 from a 2018 baseline. It's a 21% reduction, as I mentioned. But we also have near-term targets on the scope 3 emissions on 3 of the main categories. One is purchase clinker and cement, so referring to the materials we buy to third parties for some cement terminals, etc., etc. Also, in terms of transportation, as well as in the fuels that we consume in our operations. And that is complemented by the long-term ambition of reaching net zero by 2050. And those targets were validated by SBTi as part of the net zero standard as a reduction needed to reach 95% versus 2018 baseline for scope 1 and 2 and 90% for scope 3. Without going into much details, we normally are very, I think Carl mentioned something about how important is transparency in the built environment. So you would find in our latest climate report and performance reports, all details about our CO2 inventory, as well as how do we plan to achieve those targets. As you might know, the target setting is only one part of the story, but then the most important thing is to deliver on them. With this, I think I'm sticking to the 3 minutes slot, looking forward to the questions. Thanks, Fabian.